Louisiana Beer Reviews Terrapin High and Hazy IPA. Kiss the sky. You're high and hazy. Introducing 2020. There's the waste disposal, the garbage men. Terrapin Brewing Company, Athens, Georgia. Founded in 2002. 19 years ago at the time of this recording. This India Pale Ale is 5.8% alcohol, 38 international bitterness units. The malts are 2-row pale malt, wheat malt, and flaked oats. I guess that's unmalted, flaked. Amarillo, Citra, and Idaho are the hops. It gets a very good score on Beer Advocate, 89 out of 100, with 39 check-ins. Now, Untapped has over 8,700 check-ins, and they're giving it a 75 out of 100, which on their website is a very good score. And Rate Beer does not even have this beer listed. Thank you, David Garlapede, for this beer. He brought this to me. Well, I'm not reading all these descriptors because I'm sure it won't. It has like 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's got like really about 30 descriptors, so it's silly. All right. Put it on the ground because cans tend to be overfilled and they'll slosh. It's got a nice little orange pop top. I remember when these first came out around here about 1980, my father would always go back and forth with it and pull it off and then throw it down. I said, why are you defeating the purpose of that? That's to keep people from pulling the tab and throwing them on the ground and making litter everywhere. Not to mention those tabs would be bent like that and you'd step on it and slice your foot open. But he said, I don't like that in my can. Well, when drinking it. So therefore, what do? You pour it in a glass and you don't have to deal with that problem. Okay, but anyhow, you get it would be thick in a narrow glass. It's a pretty wide rim. But in like a Pilsner glass, it'd be a thick, creamy, white head of foam and a lemon yellow, hazy appearance. Don't see any bubble streams. I see some bubbles congregating at the bottom and on the sides here and there. It's damp, it's cool, and it's very overcast. So it's going to be a chilly day all day. The high will be up to about 72, which on a sunny day would be warm, even hot if you were walking in the sun. But on a day like this with the dampness, it's going to feel cold regardless. I guess that was not the waste management. That was some other service vehicle. Might have been the bottled water people delivering. You can hear the boats on the river, upriver. More than likely, that's the boats unloading grain at the grain elevator. You hear them all night long. I live only... Well, it's about a third of a mile from the riverbank, from the levee and the River Road Highway. All right. The Great River Road National Scenic Highway, which runs from below New Orleans up to Lake Itasca in Minnesota, where you find the source of the Mississippi River. And a lot of big mosquitoes too. We were getting bit up when we went there. It smells fruity. Just think of generalized fruit of some sort. And white bread crust, pale malts give that white bread crust smell. Is this anything new or remarkable? No. We're going on 10 years now of this kind of thing. It's not really my kind of ale. I don't really care for these. Pale ales or India pale ales. But they're very popular. People like them. There's nothing wrong with drinking it if you like it. Some of them are so infused with lupulin powder you can get it on your finger. Look like paste. Tastes like bitter hop paste, which is what it is. Those are really a turn off to me. But this one looks like it's nice and balanced. So let's check it out. The taste. And you get some mild bitterness, fruitiness, like I was gonna say canned pineapple, maybe the crushed pineapple, something like that. White bread crust, white bread dough itself, the bread, you know, cooked, not the dough, but as it after it's baked. Like I say, low profile bitterness, medium bodied, and a dry finish. On the Cyclops scale, which usually I forget to mention, it would probably rate 2 out of 5 sugar cubes, not very sweet or sugary, and it would probably be 2 out of 5. 2.5 out of 5 hop cones. I discussed with you, and people discussed back with you, we discussed the relative bitterness of Milwaukee's Best Light beer. An inexpensive light lager introduced in 1986, but it rates a 2 out of 5 hop cones on the Cyclops scale, whereas all the other American light lagers, generally, the mass-produced ones, will be a 1 out of 5 hop cones. We're practically no bitterness detected, but the Milwaukee's Best, you will pick that up. And with this, you pick it up too, but just a little bit over 2 hop cones. So 25% bitter and 75% not bitter at all. And 20% sweet and 80% not sweet. It's a dry beer. Very good, Beer Advocate says. 75 on Untappd. There are some video reviews, I think only 2, and 10 to watch them. Now you might say, well, if you wait any kind of time, the hops are going to drop. It's not going to be bitter. There's not much there to start with, so you're not losing much. The only thing, I think, if you get this way out of date, not a month out of date, or half a year out of date, say a good while out of date, the only thing you're going to notice is it's going to taste like old beer, and, you know, nasty, like you get old beers starting to taste. Otherwise, I don't think you have to worry about it. Yeah, white wheat bread, that's a brand you see at the store. I think it's made by Flowers Bakery, which I believe is in Georgia. It tastes a lot like white wheat bread. There's a strong wheat component. I don't mind that so much. Like I said, this is balanced. This beer is balanced. It kind of works together in concert. Florida Man, double IPA from Florida. Really nice beer. It's an A all the way, 95, 93 at the worst, I think. 95, 93, 95, really most excellent beer. But my only complaint with that one is that it's a little too heavy on the wheat. To me, it's over wheated. Then you start thinking you're drinking Blue Moon or something, so, or Shock Top. Not taking issue with that. It's just that starts to kind of swerve off the highway off into another side road, being wheat beers. This is a wheat component beer. It's not. Well, even wheat beers is just predominantly wheat. They'll have barley malt in them, even adjuncts sometimes, but certainly flavor adjuncts such as coriander and orange peel, that kind of thing. It's this whole shenanigans about high and hazy. I mean, the price is probably high. If you drink a bunch of these 5.8%, you're going to be feeling hazy. But, well, he got a great deal on it at the salvage store, which I'm tempted to go right over there again this week because they have a lot of rotation in there, turnover, and you just never know what you'll run across. Amazing deals. Really unbelievable deals on beer. Even wine. Incredible, crazy. That's right there on Jefferson Highway. And that highway I was talking about along the river, that's Jefferson Highway. It runs from New Orleans up to Winnipeg, Canada. Unofficially now, it used to be an official cross-country highway. Still, the remnants are there. 89 B plus. I think I'll go along with that. I think that's fair. 89, but I'm going to go 88. Still in the B plus. My B plus is 88 to 89. high 80s. So 88 out of 100. A very good beer, sort of bland, definitely unremarkable, but that's pretty much the case with most beers I drink. They're not remarkable. Some of them are expensive. Many of them are expensive. You might say, well, how they score an 89 to 96 if they're not remarkable? Well, because they're very good. They're most excellent even. They're just not remarkable because there's a whole lot of things on the shelves just like it. And what Philip Fulmer called, what a call-in commentator on a radio show when I was driving through Georgia, listening to Tennessee radio, he criticized the Tennessee Volunteers under the head coach, football team under the head coach Philip Fulmer, and said he was tired of this upper level, what he called quote unquote upper level mediocrity. You know, the caller would say, I'm tired of going 10-3, 11-2 all the time, 9-4. I want to go, 13-0, undefeated, win the national championship all the time. But that's a pipe dream, and so they ran Philip Fulmer off. Get out of here. We want a better coach. Now they've been able to experience some pretty low-level mediocrity since then. So I wouldn't get too worked up about these beers. It is the situation that we are dealing with. Is it a bad situation? I don't think it is. If I can review 1,000 beers coming up and they're all scoring 89 to 94 and they're not remarkable, I won't mind. I won't get excited or too motivated about it, but I won't mind it either. So, Laissez les Bon Temps Relais, very interesting product nonetheless. I'm going to redact that statement. A relatively interesting product nonetheless. And I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all go to Athens, Georgia and tour Terrapin Brewing Company.